Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome to a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion where we'll be talking about the metagame itself, where the game is going, sort of what decks are kind of rising in popularity all of a sudden. All that in just a second. Okay, so one of the major topics is what is the best deck right now? Yeah? Nobody does. The best deck right now is it's not here. We don't have a best deck. We have a bunch of really good decks, quote unquote, but we don't have a best deck. See, that's the problem that we're at. Is if a Rise Heart was still around, would Unchained still be the best deck? Or close to it? Or would Vanadium still be the best deck? Or close to it? And some of his other decks like Rescue Ace. Blues shut up every now and again, but like I ain't seeing like a bunch of popularity. Every time I face Flu, so far since I faced Flu in this new format, I'm 3-0. I've not lost. Like, it is not hard to beat Flu. I think it's just where they're running too many floodgates. That's the point. So, why is the format like not fun for meta players or casuals? Because that's the problem we're having right now. Is no one's having fun. Unless if you're playing those specific decks. Like me personally, I'm not playing those decks anymore. Why? I just don't like it. I played Unchained. I know the lines. I know what the deck's like. I just hate how to get there. I just hate everything about it, and it just turns me off. I like Kashtira, but I'm afraid the deck's been neutered so much that its competitive grind game, it can get out grinded by these other decks in 9 of the 10 situations, which is what happens. Now, do I believe Vanadium is the best deck? No, I don't. Do I believe that Chain is the best deck? No, I don't. Do I believe Rescue Ace is the best deck? It is close. It has a close grip. That grip is flipping really fast. Because in about, I think it's a week from now, it might be 2 weeks, we have the Fire King structure decks coming out. When those structure decks hit, it might actually be this week, I don't remember. But when those structure decks hit, that deck is going to be the best deck. Whether you, I, or anybody else like it or not. You have not read the cards in that, and you have not read what is in Phantom Nightmare. You are going to be highly disappointed because it is going to kick your ass like never before. That Fire King deck is the real deal. Believe me or not, I know their gimmicks. They blow themselves up for cost. We're talking about the newer ones, not the older ones. The older ones don't do that. The new ones do. At least I don't think the old ones do. They could. But that's beyond the point, because Rescue Ace was going to be the best fire deck. Now Fire Kings is going to be the best deck. Hands down. I can't think of a strategy that's out right now that'll beat it. People talk about, well, what about Centurion? Centurion is too prone to Super Poly. Once people start figuring this out, I can run you through it later. I'm not running you through it right now. You can Super Poly the deck to hell. Like, it's really bad. You get to Calamity or anything of the sort, you've got to get through. If they have Super Poly, you're screwed. Like, they're going to get you. You make Calamity, you have to use Crimson in that deck. How unfortunate. Now, I will say a deck that is tier 1, and it is literally pushed out of the way and it's not really noticed. It was a deck I was on a long time ago, which was a Resonator Bestial. You know, it's the Resonator deck, whatever. That deck is kicking ass lately. I have seen it in 6 top cuts, 6 different regionals. Get down, buddy. But 6 top cuts at 6 different regionals around the country. Because I was curious last night and I started watching live streams, getting dates on everything, writing stuff down. I don't have the notebook in the room, but it was six different places. Tier topped in 7 different regionals. I think Cash got like 3 spots, I believe. They were all low. They were not high at all. I don't think what else was top in here lately. There's all kinds of shit. Just like I believe Tier is not a Tier 1 deck. That is like my Tier in my heart. It is not a Tier 1 deck. Anytime I face Tier, I just blow it out of the water. Like it's not even there. Even when they build their board, literally, oh no, buddy. Come here. Excuse me. Yeah, we know. Go play. My little cat. Anyway. Back to what I was saying. Anytime I face Tier, it's like not even a contest. I just blow it out of the water. I played 3 different decks, and I've blown Tier out of the water every single time. Kashtira, blow it out of the water. I played Sprite, or Tri-Brigade Scareclaw last week. 2 ode Tier. 2 of them. Like, it's not even there. They're not playing their best card, which is Crime. If I played Tier, I'd main deck that sucker. That's the first out that they're gonna do. As man, I didn't even have Droplet. I just had Evenly. On all those games. Only thing I had was Evenly. I kept citing in Droplets and Evenly, but I never seen Droplet all night. Evenly was there. So it's just a real easy win for me. I just don't know. Sometimes it catches me off by surprise. Sometimes it does something. But here lately I've not lost like a single match to it. I do not count it as a Tier 1 deck because I beat it with a deck that's not even relevant. It's Rogue. Fire Brigade Scareclaw, that is the most rogue deck I could think of. And it was able to beat it. 2-0'd it, actually. So I'm just like dumbfounded for words. Like all these high tier decks, they're nothing. They're absolutely nothing. Aside from Unchained, a broken down Kashtira deck, Manadium, and Rescue Race. These are the only decks that hold any relevancy. Besides Dynamorphia. Dynamorphia's in there. People hate to even hear it. But at the last 2 YCS events, Dynamorphia has hit 4th place and top 32. The Dynamorphia is a deck that people's going to want to start looking out for, and it is a deck that I am personally going to be on. Simply because it is the best trap deck right now. Labyrinth has had a whistle into the wind, but it still did not fix the problem of getting that new monster, which is a big problem for them. And where Dynamorphia, they have short resources, but if you cannot beat those resources, you auto lose. That's where they get you. So, what's next on my topic of discussion, now that we have went through a little bit, kind of explained to you what I think are better decks right now. We'll get on to Konami's card quality and Konami's card archetypes and Prancer lately. So this is a big one that I've been wanting to get out for a while. I want to talk about card quality because in the last set, the card quality was pretty damn good. That was in the Rarity Collection. And even in the last set, the Valiant Smashers card quality was great. Now, in prior sets, the card quality was dog shit. Like absolute dog shit. It was so bad. It was really, really bad. It was the worst card quality I've ever seen. And this all started back in Battle of Chaos. Remember that. 2022. We got Battle of Chaos. We got Dimension Force. And then we got that Ghost from the Past. And that whole... Since then, the card quality has been dog shit. Even in Age of Overlord, card quality is dog shit. No cap. Like, just really bad. But then, these last two sets, I have been shocked. Because the card quality has been good. The OTS packs, who lately, have been good, to an extent. I haven't gotten a bad card out of an OTS pack yet. And I play about 2 times a week. So, lately, card quality has been getting better. Now, off of that point, hopefully this continues. On to a really bad topic, and I'm going to discuss it with you. This is why I'm not shocked that the decks are out right now. I'm not shocked, not excited, nothing. Just... Now, so, with the new archetypes that are being printed, and they're so good. They're so good. They get hyped up to such a high level, like Goblin Riders. That it as a deck is dog shit. The worst deck I've ever seen. As a package, it's fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's just a, no XZ's decks. Cool. Little package you can play in your deck. Slide it in. Whatever you want to do with it. But here's the problem with Goblin Riders. Besides Pirelli, there are no XZ's decks in the game right now. None. You say, well, Sprite. Sprite pops up every now and again. Maybe at your locals. But when you go to a regional, I didn't see a single Sprite player. Not one. And I was walking past all the tables trying to see what everybody was on. I didn't see a single Sprite player. Not one. So for a package that's supposed to be so good, literally is made to kill XZ's decks. There's none being printed. Yeah, maybe you have some argument to fight against the Fire Kings because they're generic fires, but most of them are links. Like, yeah, they get a new XZ's monster, and they can use the flame, whatever, get its name. But it came out in the last set. Okay, yeah, okay, I get the argument. Yeah, you can use that. But besides that, there's nothing. So, well, you can rip off a Zeus because everybody plays Zeus. No, they don't. Not anymore. Not everybody plays Zeus. They just don't. Pirelli plays Zeus. Seen it. I know what it is. You can get Vanquish Soul if they start doing some rank stuff, but it doesn't happen very often unless you get Fender or Border on field to make Titanic Moth. And even then, it is what it is. Kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Again, I don't see the argument there. The Yubel stuff is supposed to mix with heroes. The Yubel stuff is supposed to mix with Chimera. I don't see it. I don't see it being any good. I see it being just another pile of dog shit. I do think the yugioh cards are pretty cool and that they are pretty good, but are they going to be a tier 1 strategy or a tier 2 strategy? No, they're not. It's shit. It's really bad. Now, unless if there is a secondary archetype printed in that, and there's not, because I already looked, I went through it. Besides it, Goblin Riders, and this other, it's got like a bunch of package stuff in it, but like, again, it's shit. Like, I want to come at you with, just complete honesty, like right off the top of my head, and not just, bullshit you an answer. I think it's really, really bad. And it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to change the meta game. No, it's not going to do anything. Sorry. Like Memento. So Memento is good on an emulator, which I haven't played it in real life yet, so I don't really know. I just know from what people tell me is that they can never see Bone Party when they need it. Okay. Just going after the elephant in the room. The only way you can out the deck with Bone Party is have an Ash and an Imperm. Sometimes even then it's not enough. But anyway, there's a lot that has to happen for testing for Memento to be a tier 1 deck. I told people from the beginning that if you want Memento to be good, you specifically have got to master it. It is very difficult. There are so many lines and you can fuck them up really fast. So what I always say to do is work on your lines. I constantly work on lines. Like, I just learned a new line in Dynamorphia. Didn't even know there was one. Because I started writing everything down. That way, if I'm like, okay, if I'm stuck with this hand in this situation, what do? I have these cards. I have one play. What do? I go through it. Figure it out. Dynamorphia's trap deck. It's not that hard. If you can figure out the small little tad bits, you can actually, like, almost predominantly never lose because of knowing the situation, reading the situation, knowing exactly what to do in those situations, which why playing multiple decks like us YouTubers do is not very good, because, well, we have to consistently play those decks to be good with them. So, I do believe Memento is going to have a lot of time in the testing before it's even good. And I would say before it even sees its first top, because I know it hasn't yet, Memento will probably hit its first top near January, when people find out how to play it. Specifically, I'm going to test it with Horse. That's what I'm going to do, because it needs some sort of proverbial rocking chair under it. And Horse, probably the best engine. I could throw underneath it. Play like 3 Sarcophagus, 3 Ametsi, and then Happy and the other dude. That's probably the best way you can do it, to be honest. You plan, I believe it's 6. So it's 8. So you'd be playing a package of 8 cards. You can play the 9th if you want, but you don't have to. I would just play a package of 8 cards and go for a spin, see what happens. Which I think it would be fun, because Horus also gets its support in January, and it is going to be a lot better in January as a overall deck itself other than it be mixed with tier and everything else. So I do believe course will get better. Now my last subject before I sign off of here is going to be about tournament play, how to conduct yourself specifically, and we'll go over a lot of stuff like this because I haven't done very many discussion segments on the channel. Obviously people need them because I seen people at the last event act like jackasses, which I don't blame the team. I was with the team trying to calm them down, whatever. And I'm like, look, it's a card game. No need to go fighting people, blah blah blah, whatever. So I'm not gonna blame the judge who was there, because he actually handled it pretty professionally, if I have to be honest. I'm going to blame his other judges around him, because the head judge, when it came to the situation of do we keep this guy here or do we let him go, they told him to leave. The head judge called security, kicked the dude out, and then they all were getting together to escort the guy to the car that the dude said he was going to kick his ass in a Yu-Gi-Oh event in Lexington, Kentucky. I can't make this up. I was standing right there. I knew the kid that was standing in between. I had to yell at him to get him out of the way because they were acting like jackasses. One guy wasn't really acting like a jackass. He's just like, hey, you got a problem, we can take it out of here. Like, I'm not doing this here. The other guy was just trying to fight him there. So, honestly, I think that that Konami should have, if for what they should do is they need to start addressing shit like this. Like, violence in a card game, it's a regional, I get it, but violence is never the answer. I'm sorry. I'm a prone believer in kicking somebody's ass, but I'm not a believer in doing it where it's not precedented. Where it's not precedented is a card game. It's not precedented in a card game. If you want to get salty, you want to get mad because you slow played, that's on you. That ain't on them. That ain't on them. Because I already know the story. I know the story. The guy slow played. Guy called him out for slow playing. Called a judge. Judge gave him a warning. The guy lost or whatever, and then he called his opponent a pussy. I know the whole thing. Like that's literally it, word for word, what happened. I'm not gonna mention any names in this video, simply because I don't want player A, player B, or Judge Y to get in trouble for this. I just think Konami needs to step it up. Because from what I heard, this guy is still able to play. And that should not be the case. This guy should be banned from all Konami events at least for 2 years. Like, he needs a 2-year to 10-year suspension. Because violence is not how I want my card game represented if I was Konami. So, yeah, if I was you all, I would work on that. Because you definitely need it. But to end this video on a lighter note, because I've got 5 more minutes to talk or whatever. I do believe that the format is going to turn around eventually. It's probably going to be towards December before that happens. Which, it's kind of obvious, how things go. Like what may turn around, what might do this, what might do that. I believe that the format is going to change. It's going to turn around, and it's going to be a better format once Fire Kings come out. people start playing that and start mixing that with the Snake Eyes stuff, I believe it's gonna be a pretty good deck. I believe it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. And, I mean, that's just where I'm at with this. Is I believe that the Fire Kings is going to change the format a little bit for the better, actually. I wouldn't care to play Fire Kings. I just don't want to play a copy paste deck. Honestly. I believe, I don't know. Oh, that's a stretch. I was gonna say the Resonator structure deck's pretty good, but that's a stretch compared to the Fire King structure deck. I mean, it's got Impermanent, it's got, I forget what all it's got in it, but it's got all kinds of stuff in it. I know it's got Coach King in it. Kind of cool. I didn't expect that at all. Oh, Bubby. He's constantly doing this. But I mean, I don't know. I just say what's on my mind. I don't make videos and really think about most of the shit. I just make videos about certain topics, and you know, this is me just being real here for a minute. And specifically, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh's in a good spot. I think it's in a really bad spot, and the format really sucks. I have to be honest. I play like every deck. I like to have fun. The whole deal. Like, I played Kashtira from the minute it was live to where it's at now. I still play it. I don't play it as much, but I still play it. I think we were better in Kashtira format than we are now. Because now, it's like, it's 50-50. The pro players hate it. The casuals hate it. Because the casuals can't beat, you know, Rogue, mid-range, tier 2, tier 1s, whatever. They can't beat none of that shit. And then your competitive players, I'm knocking over everything. Your competitive players are complaining about everything because they can't out the rogue stuff. And there's too much rogue stuff going on to be able to prepare for these rogue decks, which we've seen it at the last YCS. And it's just overwhelming a lot of players, and they don't know what to do with it. So I think the game's just in a really bad spot right now. I think your best deck is yet to be decided, and I think Fire Kings come out. I think there'll be a change. I can't say what the best decks are going to be at that point in time, but I definitely know that Fire Kings will put Rescue Ace and Unchained in check. But I think they'll still be in the tier 1 spot. I don't think they'll be going anywhere. Vanadium, same. I haven't seen a lot of Vanadium lists here lately, but I've not paid much attention. But at the regionals, I did see Vanadium in every single top slot. So I do know it's still alive. It is not dead. Vanadium is still kicking, still topping, and it's winning. This won 3 regionals over the weekend. So yeah, Vanadium's still alive. So if you hate Vanadium, it's still here. So I played Vanadium. I played Unchained. I played just about everything. Anything I think is like top tier, I played it. I just don't know how I feel about it now, because like I'm good with Vanadium, but I'm not that good with it. So I don't know. Maybe I just didn't give it enough time, but this is all the time I have for the video today. If you guys have any questions, anything you guys want me to discuss, let me know in the comments down below. Fierce Nation. I'll see you in the next video. Fierce Nation, out.